Good morning, everyone. I have 11 o'clock here. My name is Alec Butner, and I'm a lead forecaster here at the Wakefield Weather Office. Looking in general, much quieter this week, at least on the winter weather side, compared to what it has been the past week. I'll walk you through the details here in just a minute. So just looking at some of the brief highlights here. Today will be our warmest day of the week, a nice warm up well into the 40s and lower 50s ahead of another very cold, dry, Arctic cold front that'll be coming through the area later today and into tonight. And behind that front, we're looking at the return of very cold weather, but fortunately not looking at anything in the way of wintry precipitation, just very cold weather. The temperatures do begin to moderate, though, as we get into Thursday and beyond. And we're going to be watching another storm system this weekend, but primarily looking like it's just going to be plain rain for everyone at this time due to temperatures warming again as we get into the weekend. And as we look at the marine weather, gale conditions will be expected with that stronger Arctic front, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday, with gusts 40 knots. You wouldn't be surprised to see even 45 knots at some of the higher sites. And then we'll also be watching a freezing spray potential. I'll go through that in a minute here. The weather pattern this week, again, that cold front will be approaching today and will be crossing the area later this evening into tonight, and then just cold, high pressure, dry conditions through much of the midweek into the later portions of the week. By the time we get to Thursday, Friday, see a little bit of a rebound on the temperature side, but still staying dry. And then again, by the time we get to this weekend, watching our next storm system, primarily rain for everyone. Wanted to break down the temperatures a little further, since that is really the biggest concern over the next few days. Overnight low temperatures, as we start looking at tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning, you're looking at air temperatures for pretty much the entire area, minus maybe the immediate coastline. You're looking at teens and even lower teens in some of the typically cooler outlying spots. And when you put the wind with that, we are looking at wind chills hovering right around 0 or potentially even below 0 in a few spots, especially northern parts of the area, Maryland Eastern Shore and north of Richmond. And the rest of the area, you're looking at the potential for single-digit wind chills. So going to be pretty cold Wednesday morning. Cold weather advisories will likely be needed for much of the area. And then just a reminder, cold weather advisories for your Hampton Roads area, you're looking at wind chills or temperatures 10 degrees or lower. And then for the rest of the region, Richmond and Northwest up to the Eastern Shore, you're looking at wind chills or temperatures of 5 degrees or lower. So going to be pretty close pretty much everywhere. And similar looking on Wednesday night into Thursday as well. Your air temperatures will be probably the coldest of the stretch, maybe even some single digits across the far north. Maybe a little bit less wind, though, so the wind chills won't be quite as bad, but it'll still be obviously quite cold on Wednesday night, Thursday as well. Switching gears, rain, we're not expecting, or any precip at all, not expecting anything in the next 72 hours. But as we get into, again, the weekend time frame, looking at primarily at this point, maybe Saturday night, Sunday, still a little bit of uncertainty we got to iron through, but probably more the second half of the weekend. Just some light precipitation potential again, primarily rain. Looking at the winds, it does get quite windy behind our cold front tomorrow and Wednesday. Tomorrow will probably be the breeziest, and we're looking at winds 20 to 25 miles per hour for much of the inland areas, and then 30 to 35 closer to the coast, but still staying breezy into Wednesday as well. And just a quick breakdown of some selected locations across the area. The general theme here is just the very cold temperatures as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday, watching those temperatures drop, and then watching the rain chances increase as we get into the weekend time frame. Shifting gears to the marine side, gale conditions are likely for pretty much all of the waters. As we get into, again, tomorrow night, into early Wednesday, first half of Wednesday, you're going to have increasing winds behind that front. And with the increasing winds, we'll also be watching waves and seas increasing as well. We do see things gradually diminish as we get into later Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. The wind probabilities, uh, pretty much everywhere, very high chance of seeing at least small craft conditions, 25 knots or higher. Gales, again, pretty decent probabilities for most of the waters as well during that same time frame tonight through Wednesday, especially Tuesday night and Wednesday. Again, some detailed breakdowns of some of the selected marine locations. Again, the theme is the rapidly increasing winds, especially Tuesday evening into Tuesday night, wind gusts right around gale force for most locations, and then the increasing seas and waves as well as a result. With the cold weather, the increased winds, we will be watching the potential for some freezing spray, mainly in the Chesapeake Bay and the rivers, as well as the northern coastal waters where the water temperatures are a little bit cooler. I'm not looking at I guess, a super impactful, but certainly the potential for just some light freezing spray during the Tuesday night time frame, especially, and again Wednesday night as well, when the winds are higher and the temperatures are cold. Looking ahead to next week, it looks really more of the same. Below average temperatures favored for pretty much most of the country next week. And you can see some of the darker blues focused right across our area. So some pretty high chances that the below average will continue into the Martin Luther King Day week. And then looking at maybe the potential for some slightly higher than usual precipitation, but more in the lower end of the spectrum for the probabilities for that. And typically this time of year, most of the area, upper 40s to around 50 for daytime high temperatures, and then upper 20s to lower 30s for your overnight temperatures. So we're looking at the good potential for below that for the Martin Luther King Day week. I will leave the highlights up here, and I will take any questions now if anyone has anything.